and welcome back to the Rainbow Hair Files. I think I'm possibly going to make this a series where I do explaining the trends. um, just because I feel like there's so many trends in natural hairstyles, protective styles, wash and go styles, whatever the case may be, to where I don't know, I think it'd be kind of fun to explain what the trend is as far as, what the hairstyle looks like and all that kind of stuff. Show you how to do it, possibly. Some of them may take me a while to learn how to do it, but if I do learn, then, I'll show you a little tutorial on how to do it. That kind of stuff. So, yeah, today's video is all about Coi Leray, I don't know if I pronounced that right, braids. I think she's a singer. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But she's, I guess, famous for having these braids. But essentially, what they are jumbo knotless braids. And I personally love them. I have done them like 3 or 4 times now on Alethea's hair, and I just think that they're like super easy to do once you get the parting and stuff correct anyway. And they look cute. You can do like a bunch of different ways of like styling it and stuff. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I have recorded how I did them, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. So the first thing you're going to need to do is part the very back of the head. I take this row, I suppose, of braids from the top of the ear to the other side of the head, at the top of the ear as well. Now, parting for me is what takes the most time for whatever reason, especially when I'm just having a day that I cannot figure out the parts. So I go over this as many times as I need to. I also use some edges gel just to help keep the parts clean and catch all the little hairs. Once you are happy with your parting from ear to ear, you're going to go ahead and split that bottom section in half and turn it into 2 braids. I'm going to go ahead and use some edges gel again just so I can get the parts really clean and also help keep the braids clean as well. If you don't know how to braid, I do have a video that goes a little bit more in depth into how to braid, but essentially you split the hair into 3 strands and take the outside section over the middle strand and then take the other outside section over the middle strand. Keep repeating that. The only thing that you're going to do differently with these braids is do not braid all the way down to the bottom of the hair. You're going to leave about 1.5 to 2 inches of hair out so that you have a cute little curl on the ends. Once you've finished those 2 braids, you're going to go ahead and part the rest of the hair in half, so just straight down the middle.
again, I'm gonna take 500 hours to part this section. For whatever reason, I was struggling to get this line straight. However, once I finally did, I'm gonna go ahead and tie off one half, and then I'm gonna split that section that is left out in half again, but coming from the front of the head to the back. Now you can make these sections as big as you want. You can do more braids than I did if you feel like you need to, as long as you are making large squares basically that you turn into braids. It's gonna look like jumbo braids, and then if you leave the curls out on the end, you're gonna get the right look of this. Now that I'm happy with that, I tied off the top of the head, and I'm going to create the first part for one of the braids that is actually only going to be half a section, and I'll explain more why. I do this, and then once I move on to doing the other side of the head, create the other half for this one braid, just so I can get it lined up perfectly in between the two bottom braids, which you will see in the pictures. And then the hair that is left in this row, I split into two braids. I try to line up the part from right behind the ear. It just kind of seems to work out that way, but you can create your parts wherever you need to. Now, I didn't get the best footage of me doing the other half of the head, but this is what I meant. That middle braid is right in between the two braids that are right at the bottom. And you don't have to do that at all, I just prefer how that looks. Now moving on to the top of the head, I split this last section into 3 braids, but like I said before, you can do more or less depending on how much hair you or your child has. It just kind of works better for Alethia's head shape and size to make it into 3. Now for the braid that is at the very back of this top section, I braid it backwards, and then the 2 braids that are left, I braid to the side. Once again, don't have to do that, I just prefer how it looks. And this is the finished look.
As you can see in the video, I did not add any hair to Alethia's hair. I just used her natural hair. But you can definitely do some feed-in hair and whatever you want to do basically with them. I have seen people do triangle parts with them. Oftentimes I will do like a couple more braids than I did this time in Alethia's hair. It's really up to you and what you think looks good when you actually do this hairstyle. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up some pictures of some of my favorite ways of styling these braids on Alethia. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it interesting and informative. That it, I don't know, like I said, maybe I'll turn this into a series of explaining the trends. But if not, this was always fun to do because, like I said, I've been doing these braids on Alethea for a while now, and I think they're really cute, so I wanted to make a video on them anyway. But yeah, we will see you guys